Radio, the Heart Radio Station. I'm your host, Roman. We have a great show planned for you today, but first, the forecast from our IntellectualRadio.com weather center today: sunny and 35 degrees tonight, clear and a little bit warm, high 27 degrees. Tuesday, partly sunny and warm, high 36 degrees. Tomorrow night, partly cloudy, warm, low 29 degrees. Wednesday, cloudy with a chance of snow during the afternoon, up to an inch or more of snow. Yes, I know. More likely, though, it will melt because it will be 39 degrees. Thursday, cloudy and warm, high 41 degrees. And on Friday, partly sunny and warm, high 41 degrees. The Drive at 5 is also part of the Monday night lineup, starting with a new show called Becoming Dateable. The Great Entrepreneurs at 6 p.m., New Black Leadership at 7 p.m., Dream Makers at 8 p.m., The Chronicles of Rom, and The Raw Checklist at 10 p.m. Also, the Drive at 5 is also part of the Fabulous 5 at on IntellectualRadio.com. The Drive at 5 and Associates Insurance. Get your insurance. Why run where you can walk and be insured at the same time? Today, my guests are real estate strategists to assist your interest in real estate market and getting a home. Please give a Drive at 5 welcome to Cassandra Sneed. Oh God, you're clapping for yourself. You're the first one that did that ever on the history of the Drive at 5.
Hello.
Who's no stranger to the Drive at 5. And Audrey Lockie. Welcome to the Drive.
Glad to be here.
Now, please give IntellectualRadio.com/iHeart radio station your background, and Cassandra, give them an update since the last time you've been on the Drive at 5. I start with you, Audrey.
Sure. So my name is Aubrey D. Locke. I'm presently with Key Mortgage. Been in the mortgage business over 15 years. Actually been in real estate for about 30. So prior to being a loan officer, a mortgage banker, I was an investor and used to buy properties for myself. And then I decided I would get the money that others needed to do what I did, because I had tough times with loan officers that didn't answer the phone, didn't help you out. So I decided I'd do it myself. And so I've been doing it for almost 16 years, 15 plus.
Cassandra, since the last time you was here on the Drive.
Oh my God.
I know you gave me a noogie last time.
It's been so long. So since the last time I was on the show, I have since obtained my real estate license here in the state of Illinois. So I'm excited about that. And right now, just really working with homeowners and people that want to get into real estate, whether it be from a first-time home buyer standpoint, or if it's more of an experienced person, an investor, just really building relationships with them. Just building a community, reaching out to local businesses in the areas, letting them know that I appreciate them, and kind of networking with them, and just learning a lot about real estate. It's a lot to learn. You never stop learning.
And you're just a flood of knowledge.
I am. I'm just a flood of knowledge. I think because of the eagerness, this has been a 10-year journey for me. I told people this, and I'm very transparent about my journey. In 2006, 2007, I lost my first building to a short sale, but that motivated me to learn more about the real estate industry versus tearing me down. And this has just been a long process for me. This was my third time going to real estate school. I had never taken the opportunity to go and get licensed, but last year I said that enough was enough, and I wanted to go and get licensed because I love being of service to other people, and I love sharing, and I just love building relationships. So I thought it was an awesome opportunity.
You said the short sale motivated you.
Absolutely.
Why the short sale motivated you and the opportunity was staring you in the face?
You know, the short sale motivated me because I was younger when I got approved for that loan. The loan was for $300,000. And I, to someone who had never had access to that type of funding without having proper education, it really damaged me because I didn't take the time to learn, and I didn't have someone on my side, like a trusted real estate agent, to help explain that process to me and what that loan meant, the severity of not being able to keep up that loan. And I got into the business. I purchased my 1531 South Kenneth in K-Town. Again, having no knowledge about the community, what that could mean as far as renters, as far as rental income. Ended up getting the loan. The loan was approved, got the property, rented out to a few people without doing background checks and things of that nature, and learned the hard way about the importance of diving deep and having application fees and things of that nature. So long story short, my tenants refused to pay, and the loan was too massive for me to take care of on my own. And I unfortunately lost it to a short sale, but it was a very fortunate situation because, like I said, that drove my passion, because I said I would never be in the room at another table on that end as someone that lost. So I took it as a win. It was a learning opportunity, a very expensive learning opportunity.
People say, Audrey, that people like myself, they're really confused regarding the real estate market. Some say it's doing well,
Okay.
while some investors and others are saying don't invest because the market is not what it appears to be. What are your thoughts? What is going on? Because you have two different dynamics here. People say invest in real estate. People say no, don't invest in real estate. What's the real story? This is not fake news. What is the real story here?
So, here's the thing. In any type of investment that you're looking at, whether it's real estate or anything, you have to know your situation, your objective, what needs to be done. It's amazing. Some of the most successful mortgage companies that we have today was formed during the crash when there was no loans being given. And it just amazed me today where we are. So real estate is one of those things that, depending on your objective, for example, no matter what time it is, people need a home to live. So and back in the days when rates were like 15-17%, I mean, people bought and they made a lot of money when the market rose. So your first thing when you're looking at real estate is, why am I buying this real estate? If you're buying it to provide shelter for your home, for your family, then it's always a good time to buy real estate. Now, if you're buying it for rental income, to provide some cash out, then you do have to watch the market in terms of what rents are and what the rising values are. Right now, as we speak, I feel it's a great time to buy. Rates are still low, right? Because rates are still low. And the market, especially the Chicago market, believe it or not, in California and some of the higher price markets, New York, it's starting to top off. In Chicago, we still have space to grow. So probably another year or two, then we would have a different conversation. But right now, the market is still good.
But let me challenge you a little pushback, and you can jump in, Cassandra. People are leaving because they're saying the taxes.
Yeah, well, now you heard my voice drop.
That's also not fake news.
You heard my voice drop on that one. That again is the truth. If I recall, we are the highest in terms of, we are the highest property tax state in the nation. Yep, we are. But again, you have to take whatever figures are given you, and if it works for you, then you proceed on an individual basis. There's never really a right answer for every last person. You have to view everybody's situation individually and see if it works, regardless of high taxes, regardless of whatever other situation is. So you are correct, though. The taxes are killers in the state of Illinois, and it does prevent a lot of people from owning.
Cassandra, you want to add?
I would just add that that's absolutely correct. I mean, when you think about the additional taxes that owners now have to pay, whether they're living in the unit, if it's an occupied unit or if it's a unit that's being rented out, now the city of Chicago specifically, they have The water, a specific water tax. I believe there's like a garbage tax now. So those things come into play, especially when you think about renting to someone else, because you have to make the decision if you're going to take on that charge, if you're going to pass that charge on to that renter. And you also have the water bills that are set to increase, from my understanding. So it can be a sticky situation. That's why I encourage people to do your research. If you're not sure, reach out to ask questions in regards to that. Really understand
But
what
I'm
you're
going to
investing
push
in.
back and cut you off for a minute.
Oh, you gonna cut me off for a minute?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Push back. And the pushback is, if I'm a lawmaker, and I know lawmakers know there's a problem. As a real estate person, what would you recommend for a lawmaker to do? Starting with you.
What would I recommend?
Yeah, a lawmaker to do in order to curb the taxes, because the taxes are real.
Absolutely.
And it's hurting families that's been in their homes for many years.
Mm-hmm. Well, one of the things that I think people don't understand is the option to appeal taxes. There is a specific process for you to appeal your taxes, and you go through that process, and you would be surprised at the number of times where that appeal is approved. A second thing, coming from a real estate perspective, as a real estate professional, I think it's important for real estate professionals here in Chicago and the state of Illinois to lobby against certain things that are going to impact the industry. So we might not necessarily want to get involved in that because that would seem more like on the political side, but it does impact how we do business here in Chicago and in the state of Illinois. So we need to band together, look at the laws that are currently being pushed, and I mean a whole new set of laws that are going to be added. So we need to be diligent and do our homework about what those new laws are and how they're going to impact the market here.
Your thoughts?
Well, not much. I mean, lawmakers, a lot of times they're in a bind because, you mismanagement. And of course, the first thing they run to is property taxes,
Mm-hmm.
I always tell people, without sounding political, I tell you, boy, the power of a pen, they just sign. And of course, we have to pay more taxes. But she's hit on something that's very important, where there are a lot of errors in that system. The tax appeal process needs to be simplified, because a lot of people are getting taxed and their property is being assessed not correctly. It's not being assessed correctly, so they're being overtaxed. And if there are some people in the market that can actually look on your taxes, and there are apps out there in like 5 minutes you can do an appeal, and I forget one because I actually sponsor Business Fox. I'll find that info for your listeners and let you know.
Okay.
I feel bad because I actually sponsor the guy that does.
It'll come to you.
Yeah.
What you say, Cassandra? Do your research and
Absolutely. Absolutely.
It's
so important that we do that.
There are more vacant properties popping up almost every single day, especially in the Chicago area. Now is that vacant property is transferring to the suburbs. What should a potential investor do in the property has been vacant for years and in need of serious repair, called a fix-me-upper?
Okay.
What should they do?
Well, I'm going to address that. So
I hit your area of expertise.
Yeah, you
right?
sure did.
Okay,
You see the chat's hard.
Right.
In the mortgage world, there are programs for that. There are a lot of rehab programs to help investors fix up with low down payments.
And I'm going to challenge you. What are those programs?
Okay,
if I'm a listener,
right,
it's like, what are those programs?
So I'm going to say this. Let's start with homeowners, then I'll go to investors, because I'm a lot more interested in homeowners.
Okay, go ahead.
Investors. So for homeowners, for those of you that think you cannot buy, or you see this beautiful home in the perfect area next to the school you want to live, but it's in disrepair, the government, and I say government with the B, right, wants to help. Okay, there are the 203K loan, the FHA 203K loan that provides you to only have to put down 3.5% of the purchase price plus the repair money to fix up the home. So if you're buying a home for $100,000 and it needs $50,000 worth of work, that money is available for you if you qualify at 3.5% down. So that's a little over $5,000, so $5,200 down, and then you can get that home and fix it up the way you want it. And a lot of people.
But what is the program called?
Okay, sure. The program is called the 203K program. Now, just quickly, a lot of people pass by very good homes because they are not aware that that program can transform a home that they see now into the home that they really want. For example, it can even add a bedroom to the property or add 2 bedrooms if the money is there. So you can actually fix it up to the way you want it in the neighborhood you like. So a lot of people pass up, and this, so Cassandra knows, a lot of people pass up properties when they're looking with her because they don't know that they can do this. Actually, those properties are gold mines for people. And of course, you're building equity. Got to add that. It's always about cash, always about that money.
Yep.
So what if the same thing applies for a 2-flat or a multiplex?
Yes, goes up to a 4-unit program. I mean, a 4-unit property. Yeah.
Okay, Cassandra, let's say I'm an investor and want to purchase an abandoned home or building. However, a lot of taxes is owed on the property. What can a potential investor should consider if there is something owed on the property like taxes?
Well, first and foremost, I think for me, my passion is I love my investors. Don't get me wrong, investors. I love you to death. But my passion and my purpose is to first focus on those people that are within that community, that are maintaining that community, that are going to school in that community, whose children are in that community. So I would focus more so on those people that live there currently or have a stake in that community right now. So as far as homeowners, and I'll get to the investors, as far as homeowners, I think it's important for homeowners to understand that process. If you wanted to purchase a property and you see that the property is, it can be abandoned and it still be in arrears for taxes. We do have tax sales that go on here that they can get into if that's something that they're into and purchase the property for taxes. But if they're interested in purchasing a property that already has a taxes that are owed, that would probably be a discussion that I would recommend they talk to maybe their legal counsel on that process, and also maybe the city of Chicago in addition to that.
But just to add to that too, of course, you would hope that the sale of the property would be enough to cover the back taxes. Yes. But if that is not the case, of course, you can get during negotiations, creative, where if you want the property real bad, say, hey, I'll add this as part of my cost. I would be willing to pay like those off.
Utilities is another concern for people who is in the home or trying to purchase another home, like water bill, gas, lights. What should a person should do in this case if they owe and they want to obtain and they find out the hard way there was $1,000 owed on the lights? We can't shut it down. I mean, cut it on, or we can't cut on the gas because this amount is owed.
Well, utilities are actually, I'm sorry. I was just going to say utilities go with the person. They don't go with the property. So that debt would pass on to that person. The utilities don't stay with the property specifically, from my experience.
Well, I could even add to that, though. The same 203K program. Remember, when you buy these rehab properties, their gas bills, light bills, they're in total disrepair. Seriously. So you can have part of your repair money budgeted to cover those things after you buy them. So as long as they're listed, especially if there's a property, give you an example, there's a property where the water has been turned off. You don't know exactly how much damage is done to those piping until you turn that water on. And you're not going to turn that water on until after you buy the property. So in your estimate of repairs, you are going to budget for your worst case scenario. Same thing for the light, same thing for the gas. You can actually do that, and that will be part of your repair costs.
Now, as a first-time home buyer, what grants a person should be looking for federally or locally?
Okay, so grants are big. Most of them, you have to have a 640 credit score, okay? And you also have to be able to pay your mortgage and your bills only using 45% of your income. So let me see if I could explain this to your listeners. Some programs you can buy a home using up to 57% of your income.
Mm.
However, to be able to qualify for a grant, most of them only allow you to go up to 45% of your income. And there are grants out here in all shapes and forms. We get into so many, but the basic one is the IDA down payment assistance program. It's an Illinois, it's a state-run program, and it gives you anywhere from $7,500, $10,000, $15,000. The reason there are three amounts: the 7,500 is usually forgivable after 5 years. You don't have to pay anything on it during the 5 years. Some of the larger ones, it's an added payment until it's paid off during the life of the loan. But there are a ton of down payment programs, and especially if you qualify credit score wise,
Yeah.
not a problem.
Okay. Let's say I'm not a first time home buyer, but would like to acquire more property. Is there a grant for me to apply for or loan without so much of a risk?
Well, now here we go again. It depends on the nature of the second purchase. So if you're buying a home, usually about 100 miles from where you already own, then there are grants that are actually available again for you as a first time home buyer. And I put that in parentheses. Okay. But if you're living on one block and trying to buy a home 2 blocks away, then that's considered an investment. And the grants are just that. They're grants to help people become homeowners. Unfortunately, the grants don't help you become rich. They just want you to become a homeowner. So yeah.
Can
So
I also really
go
quickly clarify? So the first time home buyers program does not mean that you have never owned or that you can never
Correct.
have owned in the past. Can you talk a
That's
little bit about
correct.
that?
That's correct. So you can actually sell today and buy tomorrow and be a first time home buyer. Okay. Or like I said, you can actually own a home today and buy another home and still be considered a first time home buyer.
Yes.
It all depends on, again, how the program is set up and the parameters of the program. But she's correct. uh, Normally they ask you if you've owned a home within the past 3 years to, and if you have not, then in theory you're considered a first time home buyer. But again, yeah.
Cassandra, let's
Mhm.
say I was foreclosed on and cleared everything on my credit, including the foreclosure. What type of grants or loans will I be eligible for?
That would be an Aubrey Locke question. Thank you very much.
Go ahead.
So
Yeah. Oh,
yeah,
okay.
that's fine. So it takes a foreclosure to become uh, eligible to get another loan. You have to be 3 years from the date the foreclosure was finalized.
Mhm.
So if you got served foreclosure in 2015 and they sold the home in 2017, then you cannot buy again 3 years in 2020. So you have 3 years from the date you actually lost the home. Um, if you try to buy before that, this is key because this has happened a couple times.
Mm.
Some people try to buy before it's not on their credit, so they think, oh, I could find. They do a name search, and it will pop up on the public records.
So what if I pay cash for it?
Then you're
Totally
good.
different. You can buy
Yeah,
as
you can
much as
buy
you
it when
want. It doesn't
yeah.
matter
You can buy
because
the
you're not
next day.
asking for lending or you're not
Yeah.
seeking financing. So
Yeah.
as a cash buyer, it's a totally different conversation.
Well, and there's a caveat to that. Let's say you foreclosed on like a VA property or a HUD property. I believe there are rules. Even
Yeah.
if you buy cash, they have a record, and then they wouldn't let you buy another home. Probably never. I don't know. They do have a
We
record
have to
of
do
it.
some research on
Yeah,
that.
but they do have a
Right.
record of that.
Take that and do some
Yeah, but they do have a record. But other than that, you
Well,
can buy the other home.
let's say I have the foreclosure still on my credit. However, I settled.
Yeah.
with the company,
Yeah.
will I still be eligible for that loan or a grant? I settled.
Right.
What does settle
Th-
mean? What do
well,
you mean?
I
when
What
you
get
say
it.
settle?
I did a settlement,
Yeah.
meaning that
Yeah. You gave them the house
right,
before took.
right,
Yeah.
correct.
So that's a short. That would be like a
It's a
short
short
sale.
sale.
Correct.
It'll still be
It's still
considered
considered.
again 3 years from the day you settled. It goes. That's why it goes 3 years from the time it was completed, whether you had the home
Mhm.
taken by sale or you settled it, and that's key to know.
Yes.
This might sound bad. I tell people because they believe if you settle, then it looks better on my credit or it's going to go better with me. No. At the end of the day, when you sign that mortgage saying I will pay you for the next 30 years faithfully,
What if it shows up you were litigation before or
yeah,
something like that? It
yeah.
still won't work.
No,
Or?
Doesn't
because
matter.
when you sign, for example, it's just so sad. Like the people that lost their homes in Katrina, no fault of their own. They had to pay that 30-year mortgage. They were still responsible for the mortgage payments on those homes that were lost. That's how a mortgage means debt pledge till death do we part. Like the word mortuary. That's what mortgage comes from. It was an old English word meaning debt pledge.
There was no ring on my finger.
So a lot of people,
You didn't think there was
doing that.
You didn't think there was a
You're
ring.
banging on the doggone thing. People can't hear you.
I am sorry.
You
I'm
didn't
sorry.
think there
You're
was
getting
a ring
passionate.
on
I
your
know.
finger.
So a lot of people do not realize how serious a mortgage is. When you sign a paper, you are signing that I will pay you faithfully for the next 30 years. No excuses.
Yeah.
So if
But
you settle,
There's
or
no nightcap on this.
no
No
nightcap.
No hotel
No.
rental. Nothing. I feel abused.
I
Abused.
know.
No,
Nothing. It's a serious document. It's a
it
debt
is.
pledge,
It is.
mortgage.
And
So,
but let me also share that.
But hold on before you share.
Okay.
I just hold that thought.
Okay.
What if you have the insurance? A lot of people say if you're in a hurricane, you get hurricane insurance.
Right.
And that would help alleviate that.
Yes.
But Chicago,
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
supposed to have some kind of tornado
Yeah,
or something
yeah.
insurance. Can you?
Well, in that case,
Yes.
if insurance kicks in and pays off the mortgage, then you're a good person again. Yes. Once they get paid, then we're good again, and that is not held against you. But
And maybe the next show we'll have an insurance person come on and kind of talk about some of the catastrophes that could impact a homeowner, because I think there is still education that should be taught on that as well. But I just wanted to interject and say, even though you might have someone who has struggled in the past, they might have hit a bump in the road. A lot of us are one paycheck away from poverty at the end of the day. So what I want to say is I want to encourage your listeners, even if they've been in that situation, don't throw in the towel as it relates to real estate and owning real estate. It is still a great opportunity for us all to jump into it. And some of the resources and some of the websites that people can go to in order to find real estate that is still very competitive as far as pricing. As Aubrey mentioned, you might not be able to get that $350,000 newly remodeled home or newly rebuilt home, but you can go. So sorry. But wait, there's more. You can always to Cook County Land Bank Authority. The Cook County Land Bank Authority also houses property that you can go in. You can bid on those houses. Again, they are fixer uppers, so you would utilize the 203K loan for that. In addition to that, you can always go to HUD. HUD has a program where you can purchase homes for $100 down with a credit score of 580. Of course, if you want to finance that home with the 203K, you still have to make sure that you meet those loan requirements. So there is no real reason why people should not own here and across the state of Illinois. And if you cannot own a property, then invest in some of these lots that are in our communities, because you can also own some of those lots for a little as $1 through the dollar lot program or through Cook County Land Bank. You can own those lots for $200, $500. It all depends. So let's reinvest in our communities and make sure that we understand the importance of that.
Same thing for a renter. let's say I want to transition from an apartment into a home. What would you recommend, starting with you, Cassandra?
So if you want to transition from being a renter to an owner, or as we say in the real estate industry, you want to fire your landlord, the first thing that I would say is to really dig into your credit, figure out what's on the credit. Are there some things that could prevent you from being approved? Because the first step is to get that pre-approval. You have to build a relationship with the lender. I do have preferred lenders if anybody is interested, but you want to make sure that you reach out to a lender, or you could just give Aubrey a call and let Aubrey walk you through the steps, because what a lot of people don't know is that lender is invested in that whole process just as much as the real estate broker. So build a relationship with the lender, have a sit down with the lender so they can tell you everything you need in order to qualify. And it might not be something that you can do in 30 days. Maybe it's a 1-year plan that you get on. Maybe it's a 1-year program. That's okay too. Just be committed to it and be diligent about it, because it's available for everybody.
Sure. So the transition from renting, the first thing, as she mentioned, you want to see, what you can afford, if you can buy, and what you can afford, which would start with looking at your credit. And I find every day there's so many renters, people that make very good money, have a credit to buy and don't realize they can buy because of the lack of knowledge that's out here. We have some programs that, you go down to a 500 credit score, you go pretty low. It has, some twists and turns to it, but it's possible. Most lenders will tell you they can do it at 580, but you can go below a 580.
You don't want to look at my credit score.
We could get it
We've
done.
all been there.
Oh,
We've
man.
all been
I
there.
know.
Man, I looked at my credit score the other day. It would be like, you don't want to look at this.
It's okay. I'll get the property and you can rent from me. Don't worry.
You don't want to look at this. Nah.
It's a lot of us. Oh my gosh. Oh,
So please give our listening audience where they can contact you on intellectualradio.com/iHeartRadio station. So how they can get a hold of you, what advice you can give to them.
Sure. So, I'm a phone person, so I'm going to give out my phone number. Hold line, please. It's 708-439-3632. That's 708-439-3632. Also open to Texas. My email is kind of long. I'll give it, but it's long. It's aubrey.lock. That's aubrey.locké at keymortgageservices.com. Aubrey.lock at keymortgageservices.com. So I prefer to give my phone number, which is 708-439-3632. 24/7. Trust me, you'll be surprised when I answer.
And if you want to reach me, you can reach me by texting Miss Cass, that's MSCASS, to 85377, and that will come directly to me. And I would love to assist if anybody has questions about the home ownership process, investing in real estate here in Chicago and the surrounding areas, because I will travel. I have wheels and will travel throughout the surrounding the surrounding cities around Chicago.
No, you mean
feel free. That's coming up. That's my big plan. That's my big plan. Hold on. But yes, I do travel. So please reach out to me. I am so eager to assist. And I do. I'm always in the office as well. If you want to come and have a consultation with me, my office is Exit Strategy Realty, located 2235 West North Avenue. Nick Leibert's office. So shouts out to Nick Leibert, Marky Lemons, Foster Smith, and some of my other team members there at Exit Strategy Realty. We are here to get the job done here in Chicago.
All right. Well, thank you so much for coming. See, it wasn't that bad.
Man. It was an honor. I heard I heard good things about you before I came. I was trying to back out. They said, "No, that's a good guy."
Yeah, right. When we come back on the Drive at 5 on intellectualradio.com/iHeartRadio station, a new segment on the Drive at 5 called Intellectual Spotlight, highlighting children, teens, and young adults' story of inspiration. They will join us up next on the Drive at 5.
Thank you, buddy.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so very much.
And we're back on the Drive at 5 on intellectualradio.com/iHeart radio station, sponsored by Joshua Flynn and Associates. Today on the Intellectual Spotlight, children, young adults, and good for their community, in their community. Guest is a brother and sister duo. And I always mispronounce his name, but it's called Elandre C. Lay.
Mm-hmm.
He is a freshman at Jackson State University. It is a historically Black college and university school. And his sister, Jocelyn Flynn, is a sixth grader, right?
Yes.
What school you go to?
KIPP Academy, Chicago.
And she is an honor roll student, straight A's. And they're from the Austin community. Please give a Drive at 5 welcome to both of them, Alondre and Jocelyn. Welcome to the Drive.
Well, hi, thank you for having me.
No problem. Please give intellectualradio.com/iHeart radio station. Tell us about yourself and the community growing up, starting with you.
Well, I'm Alondre, and growing up in Austin.
Yeah.
Growing up in Austin, it's like growing up in any neighborhood in Chicago. You see all the things everybody else see. It's just about what you make it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So tell us about yourself.
Well, I'm a freshman at Jackson State, business major. I want to own my own business, and I want to produce beats and engineer music.
So you want to be like a Dr. Dre or something like that?
Yeah. Like that.
Yeah, making the big money, huh?
Yeah.
Producing those rap videos, behind the scenes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you, Jocelyn?
Hi, my name is Jocelyn. For me, it was totally different. I really didn't like my the Austin community because I always got bullied about my weight or my sometimes my color of my skin, about the race of people who was in the community. I'm a sixth grader at KIPP Academy now. I love that school now. I've been there for almost 2 years. I love the school, and basically I just want to finish school, get to high school, go to college, and be an entrepreneur.
So you said you was being bullied. I mean, how did you overcome that?
I overcome it by so came to one day. My mom asked me, was I getting bullied? And I just started crying. And that's when she immediately reacted to that and started talking to my teacher. But of course, my teacher didn't do anything about it. So my mom said she thinks I should go to another school. And it came to one day that I said, okay, I might have to stand up right now. And then when summer comes, I'm going to go to a different school. So I stood up for myself. Then it was one day I was at my mom's friend's house, and it was like ladies walking through the alley about a new school enrolling kids. So I immediately put all my mom information down, my information, and then told my mom that same day, and she said she'll look into the school.
So you created your own opportunity.
Yes.
So, Alondre, you are officially on break at
Mhm.
Jackson State University. Tell us about attending a historically Black college and university. What it's like? Because a lot of people see images, they look at a different world and stuff. So we have someone in the flesh. Tell us about it. What you really think?
Well, from what I heard about PWIs, it's being at a HBCU is very inclusive, and it's all like one big family. You don't, and then everybody there is ready to like for a new experience and just to meet new people, and it's very diverse. That's yeah, it's super diverse, really.
It's super diverse.
Yeah.
So what you mean diverse? Is it whites
Oh
there
yeah, it's whites. It's definitely different races.
and Hispanics? So
Hmm.
did you have a picture image of all black
Yeah,
or
I expected it to be all black. Like I didn't think I was gonna see any white people at all. And then I seen like a couple the first day, and I was like, oh well, all right. I expected one or two, and then but it's an entire community. Uh, they had their own community there. Yeah. So
were you shocked by that?
yeah, kind of.
How did you embrace it? I mean, what was
Oh
it
yeah,
like?
well I've always embraced all kinds of people because I've always grew up like that. I've always had a very diverse upbringing, so it wasn't really a problem for me to adjust and adapt to new people.
So, Jocelyn, you are on the honor roll. What advice could you give your peers of keeping their grades up?
Hmm. Well, all my teachers always say, do what you have to do now so you can do what you want later. And basically, what they're saying, like, do your homework now. Like, I know it's not cool and I know it's not fun to do your homework, but once you actually get used to doing your homework, it's like a routine you do every day. You come home, do your homework. And then when you're done with your homework, you do what you have to do. And for myself,
Do you follow your own advice?
sometimes,
Sometimes. Because he was laughing when you was saying that. So, do you follow your own advice sometimes? Why?
sometimes,
Why?
uh,
Why sometimes?
sometimes because like I might not. I like. I'm just a kid. I'm still a kid. I still do kid things. Um, I know a lot of people who come home on their phone, talk to their friends. For me, I that actually makes me actually want to do my own advice and help like people who follow up to me, look up to me, like people that's younger than me. I should follow my own advice.
So, you want to add?
To what following her own advice.
Yeah. Do you follow your
Uh,
own advice?
me,
Yeah. When you're in Jackson
majority.
State University, your parents not there. Do you follow your own advice?
Yeah, majority of the time.
And what is that advice?
Just staying on top of what you have to, just getting it done, no matter how tedious, no matter how stressful it may be, no matter how pointless it seems, just get it done. That for a reason.
Yeah. So who you look up to? You want to be a producer. You want to produce songs. Do you want to produce rap, hip hop,
All genres,
on genres?
all genres. Yeah.
What is your particular favorite?
Hip hop.
Hip hop?
Yeah.
What kind of hip hop? There's different levels.
All kind, everything. I
Everything.
embrace everything.
So you want to produce beats. What is the beat in your head that like I got to get it out?
Right now,
No, not right now. I don't want you to drum on the table
uh,
here, but what like don't sometimes you wake up and I got to get this beat out my head. It's something.
yeah,
And what you do?
you just got to get it out any way you can, even if it's just writing a pattern in a book, just so you just remember the pattern of the beat. Or I just make it all day in my head. I just tap on stuff. You see me just walking down the hallways. I'm tapping. I'm in the air, just always tapping. It just and it sticks. You learn just to memorize it. You just stay on top of your head.
So how many beats that you have already written down? How many beats that you can officially say? So if a rap artist out there on that's hearing this and on IntellectualRadio.com, maybe an R&B artist, they want to tap into, what you got.
Well, right now I'm rebuilding my collection because I had lost my hardware to my last laptop, and so right now I got about 50. Okay.
50 now?
Yeah.
50 now? And it's exclusive beats? Is it like
Yeah, all made by me.
all made
Like
by
all
you?
of them. Yeah, none of them have samples or anything. Just
So
strictly me.
you're the originator on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. You smiling about it. So, okay. Will I be in trouble if I say you would be the next what?
Myself.
Yourself.
Yeah.
Not a Dr. Dre,
No.
not a
I'm already Dr. Dre.
you're already Dr. Dre.
Yeah.
You already got the beats.
Yep.
You already got that.
Yeah.
So you're saying you're there.
Yep.
You're there.
To me, there's always room for improvement. But for me, yeah.
They just need to holler at you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They got to get in tune.
So it's kind of like you're a product of Austin, right?
Mhm.
Is it rare to have somebody like a producer or something like coming from Austin or something like that?
There's so much talent where I'm from, period. It's just, you got to find it. A lot of people get caught up doing things they don't have any business doing, or just fall into the wrong path and they never get a chance to tap into their talents or tap into their abilities. I'm just lucky I was fortunate enough to be able to stay on the right path and tap into mine.
How you stay grounded?
Family.
Family.
And knowing that there's people a lot lower than me, and knowing that there's people a lot higher than me. So I'm just blessed and thankful.
And humble. Jocelyn, how you keep grounded?
I say the same. Like I would like do like the same thing. Stay on top of my game. Like I'm a good child. He's not so a good child.
He's not.
No.
Is there a silly rivalry between you two?
Always.
Why?
I don't know. It's my little sister.
Brother and sisters, y'all case on each other or something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the time.
All the time. So where's the stopping point? I mean, because you guys show love for each other. So, what is like? Nobody can call my sister that, but me.
Oh.
Yeah. She's a crybaby?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
But outside of it, nobody could talk about her but me.
Same thing?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Well, growing up in an Austin community, which you already said can be a challenge, what would you say to people who are facing challenges in their community and how to overcome? You mentioned bullying, Jocelyn, and how you overcome that. But for you, how you overcome the challenges? You mentioned your family, but let's take away the family right quick, because sometimes what the family don't know won't hurt them. How you overcome?
You just gotta weather the storm. Weather the storm, no matter what it is. Tomorrow always comes. So I know no matter what it is, I don't get myself down about things. I try to just stay positive. When you put positive out, you're gonna get positive back. No matter what the situation is, just think about it in a positive way. Put a positive light on it. Find a way to pull positive out of every situation. And it's easy. You just get through it. Go day by day.
Yeah. So, Jocelyn, what would you say to that? The challenges.
Well, challenges are challenges. You have, like he said, a brand new day tomorrow to start new. And you always have a brand new week. Like next week, I can start brand fresh. Like if I made a mistake in this week, I know next week I can finish it. And challenges are challenges. They're gonna try to block you and try to break you down, but you have to stay strong.
Period. So, what inspired you to attend Jackson State? What motivated you to attend Jackson State?
Well, actually, when I started my college, when I started searching for college, it wasn't even on my radar. Ended up just taking a visit down there. Fell in love with the campus, liked the people. So I was like, yeah, this is where I want to go. That's where I wanted to be. And it felt like it was comfortable. It felt more like home than any other school.
Yeah. Do they have like home cooking down there, like some greens, some?
Sometimes, but it's dining hall.
Oh
It's
yeah.
like it get nasty after a while.
Oh
But
yeah. You, Jocelyn, what motivates you to get good grades?
Oh, my mom. My mom and my dad.
Your mom and your dad?
Yes.
Okay.
My mom especially.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Do they have to crack the whip sometime?
No. No.
He's laughing, so I think that is. No, you don't think so?
Mm-mm.
No. What would you like to see done in the Austin community to assist young children and adults? What would you like to see?
more youth programs, like there's more opportunities. Period. Just like you hear about the South Side a lot all the time, but the West Side never gets any light. Austin never gets any light, and nothing happens there. It's like it's really feels like nothing is there, honestly. But it's like yeah, just more programs, stuff to help the kids, stuff for them to do.
Yeah.
Same. I would like to just like see more helping. Like some teachers, they just be there to get money. And like some teachers at my school now, they be there to help children succeed and be better. All my teachers there, they want to see us grow into a better us. They want us to see us succeed. And I just want to see kids younger than me and older than me to succeed in life. I don't like to see anybody fail. I like to see like people succeed. I like to see that you have a better yourself and you can make a better yourself.
So, in the next 5 years, 5 years from today, what would you like to see? You'll graduate. You have your bachelor's. What would you see yourself in the next 5 years?
Can we start with her?
Okay, go ahead, Jocelyn.
Mm, Same. I see myself as the same person. Well, a little bit different, older, of course.
The smarter.
Okay. I'll, I'll be the same person. I obey my parents. Like, not really anything different. Just how I act. Like, I go to parties. Like, I'm only gonna be 16, so.
Do you see yourself as a dancer? You dance a lot.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna be a high school cheerleader.
Yeah.
I see me in a purple, white, gold uniform. I just like purple and gold.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. Hopefully, well, in 5 years, I'll have at least one of my businesses started, and then hopefully I'll have my door in the music. I mean, have my foot in the door in the music industry.
In what capacity you want that to be?
Producing for rappers, mainstream rappers.
Mainstream rappers.
Yeah. And
So
artists,
if
period.
Twister calls you right now and say, I want you to come,
I'm coming.
you coming.
I'm coming.
You coming
Coming.
with beats in hand.
On the way.
On the way.
I'll make some new ones for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So you got that ready, that energy,
Yeah.
just ready for that opportunity.
Right.
So in the next 5 years, you'll come on Intellectual Radio and you'll say, see, you highlighted me.
In 5 years, I'll be back.
All right. In 5 years. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Give this brother a scholarship somewhat. All right, Jocelyn. Thank you for coming on Drive and being our first intellectual spotlight. Okay.
Thank you for having us.
All right, that's going to do it for us on the Drive at 5 on intellectualradio.com/iHeart radio station. Thanks to Wanda, who is behind the scenes. Earl is our executive producer that's also behind the scenes. Next week will be our Christmas special. See you next week, everyone.